What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Springer S RTA. So ever since I saw the original Springer RTA, I was really curious as to whether or not this sort of technology would actually work, and I'm happy to report back that it does. This thing is absolutely gorgeous to build on. It's super easy, just to pop a coil in there with no screwdriver required. So this was sent to me by a company called Tigertek, with a big shout out and thank you going their way for allowing me to take a look at their products. But let's go ahead and take a look online real quick to see what colors it comes in and what the cost is going to be. This one comes in 4 different colors. You have black, stainless steel like I have here, gold, and rainbow as well, and the cost is going to be anywhere from the $30 to $35 mark depending on where you look. So it's a relatively inexpensive way to get started in the world of RTAs without a lot of that hassle. So if you guys want to pick one up for yourself, I'll leave links right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, as you can see here, we've got the Springer S RTA in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging and then talk about what's inside. So, first and foremost, it says sample not for sale, so this is not the full retail packaging. Yours might look a little bit different, but anyways, we have some spot gloss right there on the front that's kind of neat. We have Tigertek logos on the top and the bottom. And we have some social media info right there, as well as the scratch-off authentication and color indication. And on this side here, we have some company information, so there you go. And on the back, we have a little bit more detailed information. We have kind of a basic look at the overall, device itself, which is kind of neat. And what's inside the box and some features and all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look inside. There we go. We have the Springer S itself, of course, which we'll be taking a look at in just a second. You also get a little bubble glass. This increases the capacity from, I believe they said 2 mil all the way up to 3.5 mil. So you get an extra 1.5 mil with just a little tiny bubble glass like that. That's kind of neat. A little insert comes out. In the bottom of the box, we have a user manual. Oh, lovely booklet style user manual. Very nice color graphics and everything. This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I live for. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but here we go. We have the extra baggie of parts there, as you guys can see, which are, pretty standard. You do get a full set of everything, including a couple little tools that helps you actually push both springs down at the same time. So that is definitely nice. You get extra springs, extra gaskets, little tiny, tiny, tiny baby Allen wrench if you have to replace those springs and all that good stuff, plus colored O-rings as well. You get like 2 or 3 full sets. Yeah, that's pretty neat. All right, guys, let's go over the specs. First of all, it's 24 millimeters in diameter, or up to 26 millimeters if you decide to use the extra bubble glass that's included. The capacity is 2 milliliters, or up to 3.5, again, using that bubble glass. It has innovative spring-loaded posts, which make installing coils incredibly easy. Bottom adjustable airflow, 510 drip tip, 510 threaded, and a gold-plated deck. All right, guys, so let's go from top to bottom with the Springer S RTA, starting off with this drip tip. It's a very, very comfortable drip tip to vape on. It's made of Delrin, so it doesn't heat up or anything like that. Kind of an interesting one because it looks like it's going to be this big wide bore tip, but in fact it is just regular 510. It's held on there with a single O-ring, which holds really nicely, although it is actually a little bit on the difficult side to get that tip off there. Let me just show you the bore real quick, just to show that the bore is really nothing to write home about, but hey, there you go. It still works. But if you wanted to put your regular old 510 tips in there, you absolutely can. And yeah, this top cap section here is kind of interesting because it has this little wave design on it, which is kind of nice because it adds a little bit of extra grip to the top cap. It makes it really easy to unscrew, and it's kind of a short little top cap section, so that's a little bit of a help. So with something like this here, it tends to be a little bit more difficult to grip, but with those little channels cut out, I think it's very, very easy. So there you go. There's the juice inlets right there. You can pour your juice in, no problem. I've never had any issues filling this thing up. But yeah, pretty standard stuff. It does have another hole on the other side where it lets the air out at the same time, which is absolutely wonderful. Decent threads on here, a little tiny bit crunchy on this section here, but the top cap section is super duper smooth, which I really like. But yeah, so let's go ahead and show you the inside. This glass is removable, of course, because you have this little bubble glass here that you can put on there, which increases the capacity of the tank. And the chamber has a slight chamfer on the inside there, which I feel like helps out in the flavor department ever so slightly. Next up, we have the build deck itself. This is the pièce de résistance, what you came here to see. The spring action. This thing is very easy to push down. I mean, it's a little bit of a hefty spring, I will be honest with you guys, but yeah, it works. You know, it holds those coils in there really, really nice. You can adjust your coils and everything while they're already installed. You don't have to really pre-cut them or anything like that. You can position them just how you want them and tweak them around a little bit without really messing them up. But that's something really neat. And then the top-down view here. This thing is really innovative. I love that. You know, someone that's thinking outside the box just came up with this system, and I absolutely love it because I think it works really, really well. So there you go. Let's just do the spring action one more time for you guys there. You can see the holes opening up in the posts, and these are fully replaceable. There's springs inside there. You can actually get through there with this little Allen key. You just take the Allen key out and the whole thing just pops up, and it's pretty easy to change out. But there you go. It's pretty easy to build on. You have a big O-ring seal at the bottom, and the airflow is, of course, fully adjustable, although it's on the tighter side, so I find it kind of a pain to actually adjust this thing, but hey. And on the bottom, Springer S RTA with all the normal markings that you're used to, and a slightly protruding 510 pin. Now, although it is slightly protruding, I'm not sure if I would really trust this one on a hybrid style mechanical mod. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It just always freaks me out if you're going to put a tank on a mech mod, but maybe that's just me. All right, so there is the Springer S all put back together. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's really easy to fill. Now, one interesting thing about this device is this little wave pattern on the top cap section. It looks pretty, but it also has a bit of functionality as well. It's easier for you to get a grip on the top cap when it comes time to fill this device up. Not only that, it has nice big juice inlets on both sides, allowing you to fill it up on one side and the air escape on the other. My second pro for this one is how smooth the airflow is. I was actually kind of surprised in how smooth it is. Personally, I feel like I had a little bit of a low expectation for this particular device, but airflow is smooth, albeit a little bit restricted, but I can still get a nice deep lung inhale off of it. And I mean, there's no whistle with this one whatsoever, so that's definitely a pro for me. For my third pro, the flavor is really good. Now, if I would have to compare it to something, I would say it's very similar to a sort of low-profile RDA, a more flavor-oriented RDA. That's definitely kind of what I'm getting off of this device here when I vape on it, and that is something that's really, really good. So if you're into flavor builds, then this one's definitely going to be for you. And my fourth and most obvious pro is it's super easy to build. You can get this thing going in a matter of seconds. All you have to do is just push down on the spring-loaded posts, pop a coil in there and release it, trim off your excess wire, heat it up a little bit, and it's good to go. The build time on this thing is very, very short, and it's very good for the newbie builder. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons, my first con is that it's really difficult to change the airflow when it's sitting on a mod. Now, I don't know if it's my fat fingers, or there's not enough to grip onto, or the fact that it might be a little bit too tight on there, but I find it a little bit of a pain in the ass to actually grip onto that bottom section to change your airflow. So if you like fiddling around with your airflow, or if you're trying to get it just right for a particular build or something, and it's sitting on a box mod, then you're going to have a difficult time. My second con is the gold plating on this one isn't really the best. I've definitely seen a lot better as far as the devices that I've been taking a look at recently, and with this one here, it just doesn't really add anything to the overall aesthetic. In fact, I feel like it almost takes away from a little bit, just because you get this big gold band right towards the bottom section here, and it's not shiny or pretty or anything like that. It just kind of seems a little bit rough. And my third and final con for this one is the wide bore fake out. You get a standard 510 tip with it. It's really nothing special. It has the same exact bore as you guys saw in the close-ups, and it looks like it's going to be an 810 or maybe even a little bit wider. So that is definitely a fake out. I really wish this thing had a slightly wider bore tip, but hey, maybe that's just me. Maybe you guys out there would disagree with me. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? And it's just not really my thing, so I'm going to say no to it for me, but for you guys out there, I do think it's a good product and it definitely has its place in the market, but it's just not really my thing. So as far as that goes, I feel like anyone that's looking to get into building and wants, zero hassle and something that's incredibly easy to build, this is definitely going to be for you, especially since the price point is very, very reasonable. So if you guys want to pick one of these up for yourself, I'll leave a link right down there in the description. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts all about the Springer S system or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. Also, check out the description of this video. That's where you're going to find the advocacy and my social media links. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.